consistently fed the world with propaganda and TV teams access to investigate the appalling human rights record of the National Resistance Army in northern and eastern Uganda. Operation Sim Sim is an unprecedented report by the first Western TV team to investigate the intolerable abuse of Ugandan women and men through rapes by the NRA. For a long time, the NRA government has been killing political opponents by deploying HIV-positive soldiers to rape them. It is the only government which is actively involved in the intentional spread of AIDS at a time when the entire world is struggling to stem the spread of this deadly disease. "20 million people by the turn of the century." In the East African state of Uganda, the number of AIDS-infected people in the country has been steadily increasing. The Ugandan dictatorship of President Museveni is using the high number of his National Resistance Army soldiers to his advantage. The soldiers roam the land, searching for people opposed to his regime, and their weapon, the AIDS virus. A slum in the center of Kampala, the capital of Uganda. We have made an appointment with a high-ranking officer of the government army. He is opposed to the crimes of his comrades.
If you send a soldier who knows he is an AIDS carrier to an AIDS-free area, he will behave in a brutal manner because he has nothing to lose. For such a soldier, life is meaningless. Therefore, he will follow government orders unconditionally. I know many soldiers who have raped both men and women in the north of Uganda. Soldiers who say openly that I want to infect my enemies before I die.
Noch infizieren, bevor ich selber sterbe.
The next day, we left Kampala for the north. The area around the provincial town of Gulu, the center of the AIDS terror of the government troops, the National Resistance Army. 1 year ago, government troops blocked off the north of the country. Their mission? To crush demands for a multi-party democracy. Operation Sim Sim has started. Villages were destroyed. Families were raped by many HIV-positive soldiers of the NRA. AIDS was an unknown word here. This has changed dramatically. Anyone who has the means has left this dissolute town. Soldiers patrol the town constantly. Every stranger is watched with suspicion. In the afternoon, we drove to the local hospital to see the victims who were raped by HIV-positive soldiers. Only the Lacho Hospital still treats the 700,000 inhabitants of the district. All other mission hospitals in the district were ordered closed by the NRA. Since Operation Sim Sim started, the number of AIDS cases grew dramatically. Lacho Hospital is severely overcrowded. Patients lie outside in the open.
The AIDS infection rate was not substantial until recently. Now it is 15%. In my opinion, this is a result of the military action in this area.
Aktionen in diesem Gebiet.
Ironically, these innocent people are caught up in a war and are treated like enemies in their own country by the NRA. AIDS-infected people are now alone and awaiting their death. This farmer was severely ill when neighbors brought him to the hospital. His family had already fled to Kampala. Back in our hotel, the soldiers are waiting for us. It is forbidden to film the NRA in Uganda, but the soldiers didn't find our little black and white camera. Outside the door, a sick comrade is waiting. The young soldier complains about his inner organs, head and muscle pain, and a constant skin rash. Enough symptoms to indicate a full-blown stage of the deadly AIDS infection. He asked if we could help, but our first aid kit is not sufficient to rescue him. In the evening, we look around the center of Gulu. Since Operation Sim Sim, the power supply has been cut off. People are frightened. In the late evening, a farmer informs us that he will take us to a family who were raped by AIDS-infected NRA soldiers. They have agreed to talk to us on camera despite the risk involved. We left the following morning. Our destination is only 30 kilometers away, but several military road checks turn our excursion into an adventure that takes several hours. Every vehicle is searched. Rarely is something found. We are also detained for several hours, allegedly because we were filming soldiers. After negotiations and the payment of a few dollars, we were finally allowed to pass the last checkpoint. We arrived in the center of Paicho town. Most of the brick houses were destroyed or abandoned. By coincidence and unnoticed by the NRA, our cameraman was able to film the following scene. Soldiers driving away confiscated herds of cattle from the villages, usually to be exchanged for weapons from Libya. After the soldiers left, this young boy took us to a village near Agung. Government troops ravaged this home on April 17, 1991. They raped the family of Juliana Ayeko, as reported by Amnesty International. A neighbor of the family recalls this terrible night.
Soldiers came at 9 p.m. with torches in their hands. They forced us to leave the hut and demanded money. Since we didn't have any, they beat and kicked us.
Ayeko is still unable to walk a year after being raped and beaten.
Then the soldiers raped me. I screamed with pain. I saw how they raped my wife and my daughter-in-law.
The child was on my lap when the soldiers came. I screamed, "Leave me alone, I have a child," but to no avail. I put the child on my shoulder like this while I held him there. I was being raped. I heard that AIDS can hide in your body for a long time. Now already there is blood in my stool. Of course I know that there is no medication against this deadly virus. Like many people in this area, I will die. The AIDS perpetrators left in the villages lots of infected victims and many huts burnt to the ground.